All right, you guys, I'm gonna let my phone charge for a little bit, and then we're gonna get on the we're gonna get our day started a little early, probably around like 8 o'clock this morning, which is never a bad look. So guess what? Where I was at, part two. Part one, I went over why there was some things that was, you know, you get me? And I was like, so my child confirmed with me that that was the family member that had reached out to them on social media, but we have had to deal with people impersonating people, creating accounts and getting information in the past. That's how they found out what school my kids were going to. And then soon after, the computer that I was saying why there was a cause for concern in reference to whoever was tracking the computer, because whoever was tracking the computer, you can go back and watch that video, but yeah, it was definitely a reason for concern, for sure. So, they let me know, my kid let me know, like, yeah, yeah, the so-and-so, I gave her your number so she could text you about like somebody's uncle or something. I was like, girl, that is your great uncle. You do have a great uncle. That's my uncle. Okay, it's my only one. She's like, oh, okay. So cute. I love it. And so I said, okay, cool. So I get the text message from the family member. I call the number that's on the text message. It's a number from Michigan. So I'm like, that's interesting, but maybe it's a doctor who had to fly in. Shit, who knows? You feel what I'm saying? So I said, okay, no problem. I'm not going to let that be a red flag or anything. I'm just, something I got to peep real quick. So I call the number. I talk to the person. The conversation is very odd. The conversation was more centered around getting information about me and trying to get me to, like, there's a sense of urgency, like, you need to get to the hospital, you need to check on him. At this point, he's on life support. We don't know if he's going to live. And if you're next to kin, then, we will have some questions and things like that for you. I said, yes, I am next to kin. If it's not my mother, it's me, because we are pretty much his only immediate family, right? So I said, okay, I tell you what, let me, call you, or let me see what I can do, and then I'll get back to you or whatever. I did let her know. I said, there's some really weird stuff going on. If anybody calls or checks for any information in reference to my uncle, if I have that authority, I am now exercising that authority. I do not want any information in reference to his current health, what he's going through, what treatments he's going to be receiving. None of that. I don't want any of that information released to anyone but my mother and or me. So she was like, okay, and so then I confirmed where the hospital was, and I said, okay. Something said, wait a day. She says, I'm going to call you back in 30 minutes. She never called me back. I said, okay, no problem. She's probably busy. Who knows? She's a doctor, right? So I said, okay. I'll let it rock. I said, okay, no problem. I let it rock. So then I said, okay, I called the hospital directly instead of calling her. I called the hospital directly. They were like, we don't have anyone by that name in the system. I said, okay, can you maybe connect me to your dispatcher, maybe? So I go back to the dispatcher. And I asked the dispatcher, mind you, like, my heart is palpitating because this is my family for real. Like, this is my blood family. And so I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, what? I got this call yesterday, text messages and everything. And I even got a slew of numbers that called my phone with area codes that were, that mimicked phone numbers of family members back home. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, something going on. Why are these random, Bay Area numbers popping up in my phone? And so I said, okay, because I don't even have a Bay Area number, right? So I'm like, what's going on here? I wasn't surprised when I got on the phone with dispatcher. She did a thorough search. We stayed on the phone for quite a while. And she told me, she says, oh, he discharged this morning. He already left. I'm sorry, yesterday he was on life support. How the fuck is he supposed to be just, oh, he cool now? I said, something ain't right. I said, somebody's trying to lure you into a space. They're trying to lure you into a space. So there's a reason for concern, and there's a reason for me being angry also. So when my audio drops today, because it will, you probably have already heard it. Like I said, it's November 13th, and it's about 7 a.m. You probably already heard it, because I uploaded some of the